what's up? Good afternoon. Hey, first, Maggie, woo! She's the first, no one else. Let's go. Hey, good afternoon. So, how are you doing this afternoon? A lot of work to do. Pretty much this morning we figured out what was our problem from yesterday. We did manage to make a little bracket right here that I painted, and that is still sticky from this morning. I put the heat gun on it just before, but yeah, so far this is a little bracket we did assembled this morning. It's working really great, and it is solving basically the problem we had of the electric motor bumping inside the steering column. So honestly, I'm hyped. I'm super hyped for this afternoon because I feel like it might be the final placement for the module of the power steering. Well, we still have the control module to mount somewhere in there, but so far for what we are concerned about, the big chunky unit here is gonna be mounted and ready to get involved in the build, which is awesome. So second, oh, let's go blood. Second, like you said, you will be there, and there it is. The man is here. Oh, fire alarm. Well, we haven't started the welding yet. The fire's gonna come soon, but not yet. So yeah, so basically this morning we figured it out and everything seems to work. Therefore, we're gonna move forward. No time for that. Easy, stay in front of the computer. It's a test, I'm not moving, bitch. That's perfect. So yeah, so basically this afternoon we're gonna start quite soon with weldings. We're gonna be like making the final welds onto the electric motor itself. Then we're gonna move inside the car and finish welding the bracket we added in there, and then right after that we're gonna be mounting everything together. So honestly, in like a few minutes, like maybe 15 to 30 minutes, the power steering units should be in place. After that, well, if that was feeling like a challenge, I think the next step is gonna be even more challengeful. So we're gonna wait for that. It's gonna be quite cool, but yeah, the half shaft, that's gonna be a big part of the job. Making sure everything's connected and fitting at the exit of the car right there. There's a hole right behind that bar for you, like right here, and everything needs to come out from there. So, oh, in fact, no, the hole is right there. So we need everything to exit from here, and then we're gonna move forward and see if we have a steering. The goal for this week will be to have an entire assembly done. However, since I was off on Monday, might not happen, but at least if everything that is coming from the inside to the steering rack is working, that's gonna be a big win. After that, it's gonna be another big modification where we basically drill we're gonna be drilling the steering rack to change the pattern at each output for the link kit, where the inner well, not link kit but tie rod. So basically where the tie rod is connecting to the steering rack, we're gonna try to modify it and change it from M14 to M16, which should be doable. However, the material it is made of might be a problem, so stay tuned for that. That's gonna be a big one too. So yeah, let's go. So I'm gonna throw that one inside the car just because we don't need it around us right now. I'm gonna put that on the transmission tunnel, and then let's go. We're gonna be welding on that unit here, so quite an easy job technically. However, I'm kind of afraid of messing that up, but it should be doable. Like, it should not be the craziest thing we have done so far. So if I'm doing that, that, and that, dual side. Dual side. I think it's not happy. That's not the good, that's not the good picture there. Sure. Well, I mean, at least we have a picture, right? But that's not what I want to show you. Wait for it. There you go. Pump, 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 pump. So basically where we're gonna be working right now is right here. So we're gonna be welding the entire back part here to the Subaru part. So underneath that's Subaru, on top it's Datsun and custom, both. There you go. With the lights and everything, wow. And yeah, the other cam was 8-bit nostalgia, yeah. Was going nuts. So yeah, so this is where we are right now. So I'm gonna be clamping that right here, maybe on the other side like this. Yep, like that. So we should have quite a good ground there. And basically what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and weld that in place. So we're gonna be welding the entire back part here, which is going to be strong enough to hold everything in place. On this one, I'm gonna stay on the D setting. I would like to go on E, but I feel like if I'm putting too much heat, I might just be throwing hole in there, and since we have an air gap in between, I feel like I might just stay a little bit more on the surface and be able to push to pull like a really good pass in there instead of having to stop. All right, no time to lose, ready for some welding action. Let's just pivot that a little bit. There we go. So you're ready for that? Because I am. So yeah, so basically what I'm gonna do is start at the top there. Let me move some stuff. I'm gonna start at the top there, and I'm gonna just move and go a little bit sideways like this and fill that gap entirely. So I'm gonna be melting the metal plate at the top and pushing and bringing that drop, that melted metal drop, up to the bottom there. Then I'm gonna connect here, and I might be adding a little bit on the side there and on the other side there. Here we have something, when we were trying this morning, it was doing something funky, so I might just melt that also. So, ready for that? Let's go. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of things, but might as well try, right? There, gonna put it a little bit more to the top. And then I'm gonna go ahead. So that's not bad here. I feel like I can connect it a little bit more at the top, so. All right, for some reason, the glossiness on top didn't work. What smoke? There we go. So I just melted that all together. Then let's do the same thing here. There, and then at the bottom there. There we go. Whew. There's no smoke in here. What you talking about? So the back of the unit is pretty much done right there, and we're gonna move at the front, doing basically the same thing, just on a less, it's gonna be on less surface than what we just did. So let me just move that around. Yep. So basically here, we're gonna try to Well, I'm saying it's gonna be on less, but not that much. Well, in fact, let me try to find a way to hold it in place properly. There we go. That was my helmet going to the ground. Because I didn't secure it properly. Still working, okay. So the idea right here, we're gonna try. I'm saying try because I'm not sure how it will behave. But we're gonna try to fill the inner part there. So that way the center is gonna be fully welded. So basically I'm gonna try to move and go up and down here and bring that to the top. However, the only thing is I don't feel like I'm well positioned for that. That's not bad. Yeah, I need to stay in there. Yep, that's gonna be it for that. All right, let's go. I moved a bit too fast. I'm gonna reconnect the bottom. There we go. Not bad. Feel like I can connect the top a little bit better too, now that the gap is filled. There you go. Now that's gonna be solid. Boom. Yeah, you see, I thought that too, but so far, doing the different kind of welds I've done so far on this car, it feels like I'm better when I'm moving on the opposite side, like bringing the drop with me instead. And yeah, like, I mean, I was doing the same thing, but I feel like sometimes I'm moving a bit too fast. And yeah, so like, and I know from a friend who's a professional welder, I asked him like, is there a big difference? And he says it's really for the preference. Like it doesn't matter as long as you are able to keep it steady. And right now, well, I'm not shy of those welds. So I have two really good paths, one on top of each other, merging together. So let me just brush it a little bit so we're gonna see it even better. Let me remove that. Like right now, looking at this, one at the back, the last part I did in the middle wasn't looking as great because it fused a lot, which is great, but it just broke the pattern. But yeah, part of the game. Doesn't need to be perfect. But yeah, so basically here I have two solid welds merged together with a lot of penetration on it, so that's pretty cool. We just saw a little pop there. So yeah, so that thing right there, pretty sure it's not going anywhere. I'm not a professional welder, so I'm still learning a lot. That's like my real first big project. Well, not. In fact, when I was doing the floor of my Camaro, I did learn a lot, but the welder was not properly adjusted. Yeah, they're not bad. I feel like you see the middle here is not properly merging both beads, but they are really not bad. Like I see they are blended together, but they are not smooth, so I guess it could be better. Well, you see, all right, so how would I say that? Dual front. So basically, when I started welding, this is a gift from my father. Basically, we split it, the price of the welder in half, so it was he was buying half of it, but for me, so I'm keeping it. And other than that, I was paying the rest. So that was pretty cool, honestly. That was a good way to start it. And I will say, like, first thing first, read the manual. That's a good thing. Because when you're not a welder, you don't know that positive and negative on these kind of MIG welder needs to be inverted depending if you're using gas or not. And at first, I wasn't, and my positive and negative terminal were inverted from what they should have been. So when I converted the welder to a gas usage, well, basically, I look in the manual because my friend who's a welder told me, hey, look at this when you're gonna be switching to gas, because you need to switch positive and negative. And I was like, oh, that's good to know. And I look at it and I was like, well, why are they already in the right place? And from what I did on the Camaro, I was like, yo, there's something weird. Every time I'm welding, looking at anyone welding with any kind of welder, it's melted. And me, it was like melted. It was taking forever to get that liquid metal drop that you're trying to get, that puddle you're trying to get. It was taking me forever to get it, and it was splashing quite a lot. But that I was like, oh yeah, I'm not using gas. That's probably why it's splashing so much. I've never been so wrong. So that was a big part, but basically I've learned how to weld with a welder that wasn't properly adjusted. So I had to fight and like try to understand what I was doing really, really well to get it done right. And in the end, when I switch and put everything back in order, welding never seems so easy. So adjusting it for this kind of stuff, I will say this one is pretty easy because you just have like wire speed that has a lot of adjustment. Then it's 5 setting for temperature. So basically, you're just putting that to wherever it seems okay, and there's a bit of trial and error, and that's experience, I guess. Like this right now, if it was this morning, I would have tried the E setting, which is the maximum temp, but I saw it was a bit too much for doing a pass, so putting that in D was just perfect right now. So they are pretty well done. They are really going deep inside the material, so thumbs up for the welding. A solid B+. So this is probably quite hot right now. I could be merging that just a little better there. But it's not moving anywhere anyway, so yeah, might keep it just like that. So we're gonna be moving inside the car really soon. Yeah, that's super hot right now, so I'm just gonna wait a little bit for that to be a bit less hot. So during the meantime, might as well start looking at what we're gonna have to do. So what's the big deal for the next step? We need to combine these two to have the right length for the inside of the car, for linking that here to the firewall, and we need that to be solid. So I might keep at the top here one link, like one universal joint like this. Boop, 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 boop. So this thing here, just to compensate basically with the fact that our device might not be like perfectly centered. Like the way we mount it, we never really cared about how it's gonna be like on the firewall. So right now I could be using that to basically make sure we can line it up wherever we want through that. So once we're getting out of here, we're gonna be merging that with this, and this is going to be the real big challenge, where we need that to to the firewall and make sure it's, yeah, well, it's outputting the right thing to connect our steering rack. So it needs to be strong, it needs to be really insane, it needs to be perfect basically. So yep, quite a lot of things to do right there. So with that said, let's remove that and we're gonna move inside the car. I think I'm gonna be good to handle that. Yeah, it's not too bad. For what we need to do, I think it's okay. All right. There we go. There we go. Ready to move. I'm gonna move the cam first. Front cam. Front cam. There you go. Gonna be moving this inside our little car so that it's gonna be working properly and we're gonna be able to see everything. So now basically pretty much, oh yeah, we need to weld in here too. Well, never mind, we still have work to do before moving that inside. That's a scary part to do. Dual side. Right. So basically we have to weld that little tab there. So we need to finish that. So let's go. There you go. D is gonna be the good one. That's opened. That welding mask, and we're gonna grab a license plate. I keep always some license plate that are not in use anymore, just to help me sometimes do some protection. They're really good against heat, so we're gonna be using that just to cover the splash a little bit and make sure it's not going in crazy places. So let's do that right there. Quebec with its I remember slogan in there. That, and I'm gonna use another one in my hand to protect the windshield from the splatter, because just a bit of welding on the windshield could shatter the entire thing, so that wouldn't be cool. Whoops. There you go, and I'm gonna be using that there. Yep. Hey, something like that. That's pretty cool. That's working well. And then going like that to ground, and like this to weld. All right. Easy to go. That's gonna be an easy one. We're just gonna weld that little tab there. So turning on. No sparks inside the car, that's good. Welding mask. I'm missing a little bit of light. Well, that's perfect. I don't see how that could not work properly. Phew. Yeah, boy. Yep, that's not going anywhere. Awesome. Let's get outside of the car and stop the welder. It's always cool to like modify something inside the car, even though I was saying I didn't want to go too crazy with that, and that's a fact. Like, I don't want to be butchering everything. But after the Datsun, if we're going with a proper race car project, because yes, there's gonna be a project after the Datsun, well, I will really love to do a custom dashboard. Honestly, that will be awesome with like aluminum, sheet metal, and stuff like that. I will love to do the entire bar and mounting bracket and everything by myself with a roll cage and to like merge with that. That will be so cool. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, when I'm gonna do my project car, I'm gonna do full turbo with 1000 HP, blah, blah, blah. And that's fair, but I can tell you that when I'm going onto a project, I'm going all in. I think we can see that with the Datsun. So if I'm talking about a race car, I don't know if it's gonna be a drift car, a rally car. I would love to work on that Honda Fit and turn it into a proper race car. If it happens, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be freaking wild. Key 20 or key 24 swap, manual transmissions swap. Well, in fact, it's already manual, so it will be mostly like going from a 5-speed to a 6-speed with LSD, and that will be so cool. Even though I'm not a real Honda fan, I guess Ferminta's starting to grow that idea on me. Oh no, did I fuck that up? I think I did. Yep. Needs to go there and there. Boom, there we go. Well, pretty much everything is done for the welding for now. And with that said, yeah, I can touch it with my bare hand right now. So let's move and start putting the unit again inside the car. Nothing's locked. Everything's feeling the same, so I haven't put too much heat around something I shouldn't. So that I just need to keep in mind that top part there is gonna be freaking hot. I also swap, I need to hold it differently. Also swapped one bolt. I rebolted during my lunch break. I rebolted the brake pedal assembly to its final place, just to make sure everything was making sense. Was still making sense, in fact. if I had the courage, that would have been the great time to basically remove every accessories in here and clean everything up. We're gonna be doing quite a big cleanup. There's a lot of dust everywhere, but that's gonna be just before we assemble the dashboard for one good last time. Well, maybe before that, because we're gonna need anyway to remove it at some point for adding gauges. But yeah. There you go. There you go. And now, with that said, time to add that one back again. I need that here, then like that, then like this, then like that, and then finally this on top with this and this. Hopefully that bolt won't be too long, but we're gonna replace it if it's the case. That. And where's my 14? It's there. Cool. Well, this is moving forward. Go. That's solid. So now we should have, yeah, we have that flexing thing there, and now it comes all to that little bracket in here. Is it the final assembly right there? Hopefully it is. Our weldings is not in the way, that's a good thing. And then if we're starting to put everything in there, we should be good to go. So that one's gonna be assembled on this side, like so. And the other one's gonna be assembled from above, getting down in there. Oh, I'm gonna need to put that one first, and maybe inverting them is gonna be the best idea, in fact. So I'm gonna just go ahead and drop that, the 12 back in there. Just make sure we are pretty close there. Then this and this. So I'm going through that. Maybe not. There you go. And then oh shit, that's gonna be a tight fit. There we go. There, and now time to put everything together. so that first part is working. Sorry for the noise. And then that part right here needs to be blocked like that. No. And then there you go. And then finally, last but not least, the one on the motor itself. There you go. Final test. No movement at all. Let's go, guys. It is working. It's slightly moving, but it's moving with that also. We're putting quite a lot of weight, but I'm not afraid at all. Like, look at this. Once everything's gonna be bolted again, we have to keep in mind that here it's gonna be linked with that, with the dashboard. So, let's go! Hey, I'm amazed on how good that is. Yeah, we can see the bar moving a little bit, so that's gonna be something we're gonna have to keep in mind, but we can always reinforce something in here. It's not something I'm worried about. It's probably, like, that part there is not flexing without the power steering, that's for sure, because the steering column was quite simple, but yeah, still. Whew. We've done something. Power steering is fully mounted in place. Like, that's final for now, until something proves us that we did a mistake. 48 minutes in the afternoon, and boom, we have something in place, good to go, fully welded, and I'm not afraid of that, like, falling to the ground, so that's cool. Now is the real challenge, to be fair. Front cam. I'm gonna be moving the webcam out of the car. I'm gonna be raising the car again. And we're gonna try to see, first of all, how is it lining up with basically the hole, the mounting hole in there. And also we're gonna take a look at how is it, how long we have to get like the half shaft to be. That wasn't super English. Let me try that again. We're gonna take a look at the measurement, see how long the half shaft of the column needs to be. Boom, that's better. All right, so let's go. I'm gonna be moving the Datsun up. Because we need to see what's happening in there to know what we have to do. I'm gonna also be removing the half shaft of the steering rack, because we have a telescopic half shaft there, just to know on which side it's gonna work best, and like how long we need it to be. But so far it seems like it's perfect, so. Because worst case we would have cut it and re-weld it, but hopefully we won't have to. All right, that's not bad. Let's move. Except it's not bad, except if I'm hitting the cam. All right, we're gonna use the hole in here to basically that you see in there What's going on? Dual side. Dual side. There you go. So basically, I don't know if you can see it, but we have our unit at the back right here. I think that's what you are seeing, in fact. So this is the unit we need to go through. There's gonna be some cable management to take care of at some point in here, because right now they are a bit in the way. Like I said, I'm gonna be removing that shaft right there, because that is also in our way. Let me put that on the ground for now, aside. And then basically, I'm gonna take a measurement to see from the end of this shaft there, or in fact to the end there, that to here, it's almost 12 inches outer edge, which will mean 11 3/4 or something like that. And from the end right there, how long is that? 10 and a half. 10 and a half from the end to this side, the inner side there. So 10 and a half until the beginning of that. So we're gonna have to take into account how deep this is going onto this shaft there. So basically, in fact, it's from there. It's 11 and a quarter, basically, somewhere around that. So front cam. There you go. Basically, from where it's gonna be sliding in here, it's hard to tell exactly where it is, but yeah, basically I could cut that and take a look in here what's going on. And basically from here to the other side, I'm gonna have to find out how long of a tube I'm gonna need. And that tube basically is gonna be this outer part here, because this one we have bearing in it and we want to reuse that part of that bearing system, the mechanism, to make sure we are bolting at the right place. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at this and see how good it's reacting, making sure hopefully we won't have any bumpy steering due to any kind of misassembling or something. I mean, that's a big possibility. Steering system, custom steering system is a really big pain in the ass to do, by the way. It's really, really hard to do it properly, in fact. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. It's not something fun to do, let's say that. All right, that's interesting. So, right now, if I'm cutting that right here at the exact edge of that big cylinder here, we would be exactly 10 inches from the mounting point here to that, which means we are quite close to what we need to get in there. So with that said, we might go ahead and try something crazy. That won't fit in there in any case, right? Nope. It will be so cool if we were able to basically disassemble those kind of stuff, but we can't. We cannot. So we're not gonna have a big choice but to, first of all, try to unpin this and see if with that open we have access to something that allows us to remove, to split both of them. But yeah, we're gonna have to cut that right here, and then we're gonna have to see what's going on with that. Because basically I would love to reuse just part of the top section here where there is the bearing, and then yeah, weld that to the bottom edge here, and then we have one bearing exactly at the end here. Is it at the end? It seems like it is. Let me try to figure that out, because what's nice with that is that we're gonna be able to, oh, we have another one at the end here. Oh, so we're gonna have to take care of that. Yeah, we're gonna be clamping that in place. We're gonna be cutting that. But the last one seems to be different. Yeah, it's right at the end here. So these mark basically in here. I have a bearing, so if I'm about to weld somewhere here, I need to take care of that, because if I'm welding too close to a bearing, it's almost sure I'm gonna overheat it, and then because of that, it's not going to work properly. So just have to keep that in mind. But we have not that much of a play in there, so that's also something I need to keep in mind. I feel like it's more like here, in fact, which is not impossible. We're gonna have to see once we're gonna be cut there. I'm gonna cut like an inch before. We have plenty of play there, and remove that inch if I can. So yeah, are we starting with that? Whew, that's stressful. Honestly, that's really stressful. This is the part where I'm like, all right, if we fuck that up, we're in trouble, because these parts are not easy to find. So like, I have to do it, but at the same time, it's a bit scary. Let's do that. So we're gonna try to figure a way to clamp that in place, even though this is not the greatest. Nah, we're gonna go in the vice grip. That's gonna be easier than doing that on a workbench that's not made for that. Vice grip is the proper tool to use here. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Use the proper tool. Use your brain. That's the proper tool to use. There we go. This is solid, and we're gonna cut that right there. Ready to go? Whew. I'm not sure I am. You might be. You might want to see me screw that up, but I'm not sure I am ready to go. But you know what? Full send. Loud noise. Alright, so seems like we're not doing bad. Let me just clean the edge there. There we go. Yep, we're not doing bad. In fact, we're doing pretty good there. Cool. So in the end, it doesn't seem like there is any bearing on that side. So it's really only at the end here. Yep, so we just have two bearings, one at the top, one at the bottom. So right now with that, how long do we have? From here to there, we have 10 inches. Let's try that inside the car. Dual side. It didn't work. Dual side. Dual side. There you go. So yeah, you can see that bright shiny spot behind that black wire inside. That's the rear of our power steering unit. So basically what I'm gonna try now is, with the car lifted in the air like this, I'm gonna just try to slip that in place and see if, all right, we're gonna remove a bunch of stuff that's gonna be in the way right now, like that. This, I don't know what you're doing there. Okay, you're like that, and like this. There you go. All right, so this is removed. All right, Houston, we have a problem. So I don't know how I took my measurement, but probably not the right way, because right now there's no way this is sleeping on top. So we're gonna be cutting the big tube and adapt. It's right there. Like before getting out around here. Yeah, we have less than 10 inches. So we're gonna need to remove quite a bit of tube in here. So this was press fit together, front cam. Front cam. There you go. So this was basically press fit together. In our case, because probably they are adjusting it inside the car, then marking it and pressing them in a machine back in '79. But yeah, for us, that's gonna be a case of just cutting, and we're gonna be welding that back in place later on when we're gonna be good. So I was looking at it, and it seems like we have quite a big amount of tube that was in there that we don't need. So I'm kind of unsure if I shouldn't go just with like I could go a bit crazy, to be fair, and basically I'm looking at this, that. Yeah, that needs to be like that. That will be the best, but that's impossible to remove afterwards, so no way. Because basically I'm thinking about cutting it almost halfway through and then using what we have left of what we just cut. So that here, using that to extend it back to where we need it to be. So basically using the same kind of ideas that they were using back then, and just fixing that in place. And once it's done, mark it, because like I could play with how deep it's going, and then with that said, after that I can just mark it and basically weld it together, which makes sense because that thing will not be able to twist if it's not just sitting on top like this, but really slipping in. So yeah, might be the way to do it, in fact. So, and here I see there's a little bit of a seal, but instead of a seal, the welds is going to do it. So I just want to make sure I'm trying to overthink it a little bit, because basically, like I said, we cannot fuck that up. We really need that to work properly. So yeah, I'm thinking cutting that, not even the entire way there. Let me take a look. Can I take a measurement on how? Yes, I can. So I have basically 3¼ deep there. So if I'm going just a little bit more at 3½, I will be good and have the small tube fully removed. We're doing that. Let's go. That's stressful. Did I told you that? But that's fun. That's legit fun. 3½, perfectly accessible there. The only thing I'm really missing in here is a proper saw to do some straight cut. That will be so helpful. Like that will be insane. But we don't have it, so we need to go with our bare hands. Loud noise. All right, so far so good. No drama, no big deal so far. And I just threw earbuds in my bag. Skill. All right, so far, like I said, no drama. We reduced that to this. So let's test that again in the car and see and make sure that we are still in the good measurement there. Dual side. There you go. Yep, right now that's fitting right at the back there. And it's almost lining up perfectly, so the angle is pretty good so far. The angle is really, really good so far. So, that means we can now use that technically. Oh, sheesh, the gap is big. The gap is bigger than I thought it would be. What is that? Front cam. So, because there is a lip in there and a really, really tight fit. All right, I cut it perfectly flush, basically. I thought I had a bit more play with that, but not. But yeah, so basically there's the plastic sleeve in there, helping keeping everything in place. We might be able to reuse part of it to center everything. So basically there's a 3-step thing in there. However, it's gonna catch on fire if I'm trying to weld that, because plastic is not really happy when welding. Because I will need basically something in between to make it work. So okay, so I see how it was pressed, in fact. All right, let me try something. I'm gonna try to basically smash. No, that's not gonna move this way. I'm gonna try to smash a little bit of the of the tube outside of where it is right now. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Well, maybe. Did it slip? Maybe it did. If I'm holding to that, that won't work. I don't really have a good hand on that. Maybe like that. I think I just crushed it a little bit. No big deal. Ow. That vice grip is not my favorite. Not gonna lie. All right, let me try something. It is slipping outside. Yep, it is. We might be able to oh, there is something in there. I'm not sure what that is, but there is. It's slipping away. What is that? Look at this, guys. That's weird. There's like metal dots in there. Probably just clamping the plastic bushing in there. But the fact is, the metal tube is getting out slowly. So we might try to fully remove it and see if we can reuse part of that to make sure we're gonna clamp that properly later on. I'm losing my pants. Not cool. Hot, but not cool. Well, this is almost out. There we go. Oh no, almost but not yet. All right, here we go again. Let me change the side I'm holding it. Woo! And there we go. Pow, pow, pow. That was rough, but it worked. Why do we need that? Not sure yet. That's a question for later on. So, small tube, bigger tube, and that is fitting tight. I think that's gonna be the answer. Basically, we might be using that just to place it on top and weld the shit out of it without caring. Like, the plastic in there might just be used as an adjustment sleeve on top of that. Not gonna lie, will be cool to be able to remove the plastic sleeve itself, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna damage it too much if I try that. Because basically, imagine that I'm removing that plastic, I can slip it back on top here, and that means I can just use that as a telescopic thing, and from there, once we're set, I can just put everything together. Might have to remove the power steering unit again to plug everything together, but once it is done, it will work just perfectly. Honestly, I'm starting to rethink of how we're gonna do that here. I'm wondering if we're not just going full sand with basically, yeah, I'm wondering if we're not going full sand with basically just not having any joint in the back of the power steering unit and be a solid column until the end. Because like I said, when you're looking at it, dual side. There you go. Basically, it's lining up pretty well so far. So I feel like I might be able to just go full solid in there, but it's always a guess. It's hard to tell. Like, I don't know exactly what it will change if we have something that is not full solid at the back there. I mean, it will have more chance to force against the firewall if it's not full solid, that's for sure. And we can always try to move the holes a little bit. We can see there's a mini holes in there, and that's because they already have been hacked a little bit. So therefore, it's not ideal, but yeah, they have been hacked. And that here, we can always, oh yeah, we can slip that from here, in fact. Wait a sec. Front cam. This, we can remove that right now and make sure that we are all good to go in here before. Like, we could be working from the outside of the car towards the inside, and that should work perfectly if I'm not wrong. Like, let me just unscrew that a little till it's loose like this. Then, why am I not putting that back in place? Dum. Then if I'm taking a flat screwdriver, basically I can release that collar right here. And from there, the seal on the top shouldn't be taking any place. And we're gonna see what is going on with that bearing. All right, so we have the bearing in here. We're gonna put a lot of grease in that. Oh yeah, and that's it. I have to take care because there's a sleeve on top there. But this is all right. So we have the bearing here on the Datsun part. And now I should be able to basically move that up like this, boom. So from there, we can basically move on and try to see if it's connecting to the car. I'm gonna try to remove that plastic thing in here. So let's move back there. I'm not gonna bring the cam, if you don't mind. It's just like basically trying to push a plastic part out of there. I was to say no big deal. Well, that's something that we still need to prove. Well, really no big deal. We need to prove it? Well, proved. The proof is here. Easy, easy, easy. Done. So yeah, so that's weird. There's like metal beads in there, but there you go. So we have the plastic tab there. We're gonna be able to clean everything, but we're gonna be able to use that as a guide. The only thing I need to make sure is that it's not pushing too far down there. So I could use that, in fact. Then that, basically, okay, that's where it's getting hard to reach. All right, so yeah, so we're gonna have to basically make sure we are slipping that on top there, but so far this is working. We're gonna have to also reduce the column length there. Hey, again, I move outside, let's go. Hey, you're looking at grass? What? Oh, okay, that's what I thought, yeah. Nothing normal for a gamer. All right, so there. So basically, plastic sleeve is back in. There we could go. We can try to figure out how long we're gonna need that. For real, that was last week for us. Where are you at, Blood? You are in Europe, right? I think I already asked you that. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at remembering those stuff. Denmark. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, hello there. What is it? No, I think I'm messing up with something. I had there was a friend in school that was coming from Denmark for a year, like a French immersion. She was super nice, and basically, yeah, she went here, and she was Danish, I think we're saying in English. That's pretty cool. Plus, it has no priority for your brain to remember, so you are against your own nature. Yeah, fair. Guten Morgen, is that something? I feel like that was a good morning or something, but I'm not sure. I'm just trying to remember anything, but like she teached me back in the day some bad words in Danish, but like I can't remember any of them. Like, it's been 15 years of that. I'm so fucking old. Please help. But yeah, so far we're making progression on the steering. Everything for the power steering is in place. Now we're trying to do the half shaft. Guten Tag, I think, was something too. Hang on, trying to get that Google Translate to do the job for you. I know the trick. I'm French and speaking English often, so I know that. Oh, that. Yeah, so we're gonna do this with that again. Is it like that? No, that's gonna be like this, then that. For real? There's no way I just said that without knowing. Ah, fair. Fair. So let's see how this is placing in place in the Datsun. I'm gonna grab a few screws because I feel like it might be easier to just... Oh, because I gotta have to do that from there. Nah, never mind. If I'm holding that against that. Dual side. There you go. Up with that again. It's hard to get in and out of the car, and I cannot really jump in there, but I don't want to also go any other way around, because basically I need that. I need to go under the car. It's like a cultural thing here, they mean foreigners that intentionally. But that is how it's taken, I think, to say it, because it utilizes our unique letter a lot. No one can pronounce them, yeah. These letters, yeah, I'm not even trying, okay? Like, I guess there's tricks, or just learning them, I guess, is the tricks. But like, yeah, I'm not super duper good with language and stuff. So for me, this will be like asking a lot, I will say. Okay, on which side are you going? First of all, well, you have to go down, so you're going this way for sure. Now, with that said, that getting out here, we can push that a little bit further away, so that will work. And now I will need for that to be holding in here. Should I try to bring some tape and just tape that somewhere here so that this is holding. That will be a good idea. It's just greasy a little bit, so I don't know how good it's gonna stay in there. Because I just need the measurement at the back while it is holding in there. Really? I need like a third hand inside. Okay, that's holding. Let's grab some tape. Whew. Which tape now? Because yeah, basically I'm super happy now because I feel a bit more confident with my English and everything. But like, if you will ask the same guy 2 years ago to speak in English for like more than 5 minutes, oof. Like for the job, no problem. Other than that, I was like, oh, I'm not super happy with that. But now I'm like, well, yeah, doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep going. Stop me if you can. If I'm starting to talk about cars, you're done, man. And that's valid. Yeah, I mean, I feel confident and it's way better than it used to be, but like, yeah, also just talking about something you know well or you have fun is really, really cool. It's like, yeah, so that's helping a lot. Just like for the job, you don't have the choice. You're getting money for that, right? Dual side. Dual side. Dual side. The bud is not happy this afternoon. He's not helping me at all. The butt is not making me feel confident. This little biatch. All right, can I just do that and that? That wasn't long enough, right? That's what she said. All right, let's try that and that then. And then let's try to hold it so it doesn't fall. Screeching noise of a furious guy who can't get his tape. Let's go. Not gonna lie, these tapes are quite good, so if it's not holding with that, nothing will make it hold. Like that. Like this. Boom. Now it's holding. Oh wait, I'm gonna need to reach in the middle there at some point. Well, for now that's working. I'm gonna take the measurement inside. That's System D. System get good. All right, measuring tape, where you at? You're there. Front cam. I don't think you need to see the red tape for that long. So now, but that said, knowing I can move that a little bit more, we're gonna take a measuring from here to here. Man, that's like almost nothing. So we might have to reduce the big tube even more. Yep, we won't have the choice because we need also to have a bit of shaft in there. We have like 2 1/4. That's really not enough for having everything getting out there. So we're gonna have to reduce that. So getting the outer side of everything done, like the outer side, then we're gonna do the inner shaft. Inner shaft, that's gonna be pretty small, to be fair. It's just going to be part of the module at this point. So yes, let's remove the tape. Might just hold it in there because it might be useful a bit later on if it's still sticky. Let's do that. Ugh. That and then that. Boom. So basically what I've just done is measure how long we have left at the back here, and right now it's really not that much, so I feel like I need to cut that even more, because basically we have like around 2 1/4 at the back, and that means 2 1/4 we won't have enough space to put our bearing in here and welding that properly, then having the shaft getting out of it. So we're gonna make sure we have plenty of space for all of that, because also we need to keep in mind we have basically from there we have a little spring system here that's gonna make a difference also. So yeah, we need to just keep that in mind. Hopefully the in-between link is not going to be too much 90 degrees. There's still going to be a nice angle in it, so it's gonna work properly. That's my worst fear, to be fair, now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, it should be good, should be good. So since we had 2 1/4, I'm gonna cut around 2 inches. I don't want to cut too much, and we have like a dent in there. But like I'm gonna I'm gonna cut another like 2 or 2 1/2. I'm gonna go with 2. It's always easier to remove more than to add once it's cutted. So yeah, let's go with 2 inches in there, removing that. Then we're gonna move forward with the other tube to make the housing. Then we're gonna have to fill the housing with something that we're gonna fabricate too. There you go. Two inches, feel like that's gonna be plenty. So yep. Loud noise. All right, so this is not my best cut so far. I've done better before, but hey, we're gonna take it for now. Can smooth that later on. It's a bit on an angle, so we're gonna deal with that later on. So far, that's pretty good. We're gonna be putting some grease again later on too, because right now it's a bit dusty with metal dust in there, so that's not really great for a bearing. But yeah, gonna be re-greasing everything, and so it should run smooth. So the idea right here, basically we know we have about 2 inches inside the car. So now we're up to like 2.25. So now we're up to 4.25 of space on top here between that and the steering rack. So basically we're gonna be using that here, the plastic sleeve inside there, with probably like 5 to 6 inches of that. So the idea is that now we have like, let's round it up to 4. We have 4 inches between this and the top of the flange at the back of the power steering unit. So this way we have 4 inches, but the idea is to slip the smaller tube inside here. So right there we have like around 3 inches left. So 3 plus 4, that's around 7, but we're gonna cut it at 6, so we have like a loose at the back end here, so we can slip it in and out a little bit more. So, and I'm saying like 6, maybe 5.5. So I prefer to, well, again, I'm gonna go with 6 because it's easier to move and cut it back to 5 or 5.5 than otherwise. So the idea is to have something like this cut around here and be able to slide in and out until we have the perfect fitment. Once we have that fitment, we're gonna be using the plastic spacer to center it in there, and then we're gonna basically weld it. So yes, the plastic's gonna burn inside, but it's gonna melt, but at least we're gonna seal everything, like the tube and that together, and therefore we're gonna be able to just use that as a in and out setup for the linkage we're gonna make, the solid linkage we're gonna make afterwards. So that's the idea. Let's do that. So like I said, we have 4, so we're gonna cut at 6 to have a bit of space. 6 is around there. So let's move again to the bench. We're gonna clamp that quite far. Just making sure we have plenty of space. Because also we're gonna need one of the small tube section for the car, because these are pretty much the way to assemble the turn signal and wiper lever and also the key barrel inside there. So we're gonna need that to put on top of well, probably just behind the hub adapter. So that's gonna be another thing we're gonna have to do, but a bit later on. So let me mark that 6 inches spot right there. There you go. There. Boom, boom. Loud noise. Voice. Oh, the voice went back alone. Sorry for that. All right. So here we are with that, and that. So we're gonna be starting with that one there. Then we're gonna go with that one. And then that's gonna be the hardest part to do. Oh, I'm I'm gonna clean that a little bit. That might be why I just don't stop hitting my the top of my hand against the vice grip, because basically when you're releasing the tension, there's just a spot at the bottom, and I'm always hitting the same spot again and again and again, and now it's bleeding, and that's not cool. It doesn't feel great. Like, I had some better experience before. Well, let's just use the sand belt a little bit for that. Loud noise. Yeah, that's a new one I bought like during the summer and installed, and I haven't used it that much so far. But yeah, basically there's, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a big square there, and when you're releasing, well, your hand is getting right on the corner there, and that's not cool. I had better feeling in my life, not gonna lie. So this and this and that. So this like that and that like this. And if I'm grabbing the rubber hammer, it's hammer time. Don't want to smash too hard in there. I don't want to crush the bearing on top. Yeah, no, I don't like that. It's now stuck. I just heard something go away. Oh, that was a metal thing in here. No big deal. That's okay. Yeah, that's just helping centering everything, so that's okay. I'm gonna be grinding that a little bit on the inner side. It feels like it's dark outside right now. It's crazy. Loud noise. All right, let's try that again. So this is going way better inside there. So now let's just do that. Replace that again. And yeah, that's all together. It's not working great, but it will. Oh no, I'm bleeding. All right, I just need to successfully All right, so the telescopic part of it is maybe not going to work that great. Yeah. And now I'm pretty sure it's almost stuck in there. I'm gonna be able with a screwdriver to remove it, but yep. Telescopic, yeah, we've seen better. How tall is it right now? Is it close to what we need? Honestly, that's exactly 4 inches. We said around 4¼ Let's just test that for fun inside the car, okay? Yeah, dual side. There you go. We're gonna just try and test fit that towards the output there. Yeah, pretty much. if I'm just sliding that on top, we're getting out around here. And now I'm fully out. Honestly, that's not bad. That's really, really not bad. So this could be used right now. So I could be pushing that even more a little bit. Oh, can you hear that? That's not a happy bearing. I'm gonna have to grease that a lot. All right, I'm gonna try to push that out again and maybe remove the metal, the plastic sphere, well, the metal sphere at the top. Cannot do that. All right, let's try to remove that, shall we? So I'm gonna go like this, like that, like this. Yep, that's working. That's one way to do it. So basically right now, I'm starting to lose some dual front. There you go. I'm starting to lose some plastic parts, so I'm gonna have to take care about these, because yeah, it's just a bit too tight on top there. So that's the thing. I'm gonna have to take care of that. But so far, all right, let's try not to hit my hand again. There you go. I did that like a proper professional. So yeah, so basically I need to take care of not throwing that away. But yeah, I feel like if I'm just removing all the metal balls at the top, I'm still going to be quite centered, so it should be all good. I don't like what I'm saying, it should. Like, am I sure? No. But I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna try to remove some of them, just to help, like, still have a bit of pressure all around, but without removing everything. So let's do that. The trash can is at the back. Let's grab that. Garbage time. And it's fully empty, so it's gonna be even easy to go and grab them again if needed. All right, I'm gonna put that right in here. I need to put that somewhere it's not going to be in my way. And I'm gonna be removing one out of two. Just to remove a bit of pressure, but still having the everything centered as much as possible. There you go. The inner side is working quite well, so I'm not going to remove that. But yeah, basically, now everything is spaced a little bit more. I know we don't have a lot of focus, but hey, that's every streamer problem, basically. So that's done. Did I just receive a call? Nope, a lot of people chatting though. All right, so with that done, basically we can move on and slip that on top. And now let's see if it's a bit more telescopic. I don't think it's gonna be that much, but let's see. Not bad. All right, so right now it's still not slipping in properly, so I feel like I'm just going to remove everything. I need that to slip further at the back there, so yeah, I'm gonna be removing all of them. And just looking at it, I'm pretty sure on what I'm doing, because where it was supposed to be, it was just a tiny bit smaller. So yeah, let's go. Let's remove all these metal spacer that was put in there in 79. That's crazy. Looking at it this way, I'm always amazed the fact that this is like over 40 years old. It's older than me and still in there, was doing its job, and now a little kid is just messing around with it. So that's like, seeing that this way is quite crazy. There you go. So see, now that's centered. I'm gonna be able to slip that in and out properly and make that work in place up to there. So we are fully extended there. Well, fully retracted, I mean. And then same thing here, and see, we are losing, no, not even the, oh yeah, we are losing a little bit where the metal dots are at the bottom there. It's preventing that from going too far down. So there you go. There we are, having that properly in place. Now we need to make the inner side, because now we have two bearings in place, but we need that to be fully locked and working, right? And that's the big part. That's the big deal. So first of all, let's put that aside, like around here. What time is it? 15:41. Full time left in front of us. Still quite early. I love that. So first thing first, I'm gonna try to dismantle that here. So removing that cap, and see if I can just split those two in half. If I cannot, I might snap it around here and then see what's going on when I'm sliding that inside our assembly there. Technically, I'm not gonna have long enough, yeah, I'm not gonna have long enough things in here. However, hello there. Yeah, I need to look at it, because it seems like this part here might fit inside here. I'm a bit pissed I don't find my caliper anymore to measure that kind of things. But yeah, let's just try to figure that out and see if we can remove that metal tab. Anyway, in any scenarios right now, I cannot use that. First of all, because there's two pivot points, and it is also telescopic, which means even if I'm going to the power steering unit there, if this is moving and the part outside in the engine bay is moving too, that's gonna kink on every side. So I need that to be solid mount, like solid mounted in place. So in any case, I'm gonna have to cut it and do crazy stuff to it. So might as well do it right now and just try to figure out how it is working. So then after that, I'm gonna be able to make something custom with that. I can swear to you it's gonna involve some welding, that's pretty sure. That camera is a bit too far down. There you go. Bit of coffee in my mouth. Now let's try to remove that. All right, seems like that's gonna be a pain in the ass. Like I said, I don't have the choice to open that in like any scenarios. I cannot use it. I bought it. That one I can find it easily. No time for that shit. Loud noise. That's how you're doing. Right, that's still not releasing the entire thing, or maybe, well, whoops. All right, that's metal balls in there, holding that together. All right, I put some metal balls all around, all around on the floor of the garage. Well done, GG, well played. That makes sense. That's a good way to do it. But there you go. So we have the shaft now. Oh man, that's a full solid shaft right there. That's crazy. But that makes sense how it was done, because this is how you make a telescopic thing work, right? So this is going there. This is going there. Is that really working? Nah, that's a bit too big. Was to be expected. Really close though, really, really close. Hey, I never fall. I always came close to falling, but I'm never falling. We're almost there. So basically we need to combine that with our Datsun column right here, and that's gonna be the hardest part, to be fair. So the main idea right here would be to get that side here, the pivot there with the bolt, stuck in place here. And that's not impossible, to be fair, because I already tried that and I could press that and weld it. So then, but from what I understand, everything related to steering column right now is basically some full material. There's not really any tube. It's always some full rod. So that's something I need to take, like, to keep in mind, because that means at some point, if I'm going with some decision, I need to make sure it's not going to be a weakness in the steering column, creating something that could end up in a failure, in a major failure. That will suck, to be fair. So yeah, I have to keep that in mind. Because basically right now, what I will need to do is to bring, I had that in here, is to bring that here. Well, that in fact, I will need to bring that to the bottom. Why is it not going over that anymore? That's something I don't understand. It should be going right on top of that. Do I have anything stuck in there? No. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to smash it a little bit. But yeah, because basically this right here needs to move right on top there, and I need to put the first part of the shaft there on the other side here. And I have a C-clip and a spring, and basically it's voice. Wow. That freaking butt just messing around with me this afternoon. All right, so basically, yeah, I need to make sure that what I'm gonna use in here, I would like to have that one here fitted to the Subaru part right there. And after that, using that to connect straight to the power steering unit. However, like I said, and I don't know if I was muted at that point or not, at that point, I will love that, I will need to make sure that everything I'm using is some full material. Like right now, everything seems to be some really thick material. Seems like steering wheel, I mean, they are going through a lot of stress, right? Even more if I'm about to put that on the racetrack. So I need to make sure I'm not coming around the corner and it snaps and then I'm stuck with no steering wheel, because that will suck. If you're doing 140 kilometers per hour coming around the banking of the oval shape at the racetrack I'm going, that will suck a little bit. Even more if I'm going to Tremblant, which is basically a racetrack where you can reach 200 kilometers. Yeah, like a lot. So I really need to think that half shaft here really, really well. Like anything else, it's using the exact same thing that is supposed to be in there. Like there's no big deal. It's really that 12 inches, like not even like 10 inches of steering shaft that I need to make sure I'm nailing perfectly, because other than that, that could cause some real trouble. With that said, we have a few possibilities. First of all, I have ordered this. We're gonna need to use it, but this is basically a steering column material, so we can always use that, but we want to use the bearing system in there with the Datsun plug through the firewall, so therefore that's not really an option for our first thing here, even though it's fitting on the first bearing, I think. No, it's not. It's closed, but it's not. So not really an option. We really want to use those. I just want to take a look. Yeah, something's blocking now in here when it's not supposed to. Maybe I'm gonna have to grease it a little bit, or maybe just have to sand it a little bit. Maybe there's just a notch. But yeah, so this is something we're gonna use later on to connect to the Fiat 500 steering rack. However, for now, we still need to figure out how to go through all of that. Yep, there's something in here that's not super happy. So we're gonna have to make sure everything is fitting fine and nicely in there. First, then putting that back together, then spring. Once the spring is in place, we're gonna be able to go with locking everything, because yeah, what I was also saying is that the system, that little half shaft we're gonna make, is gonna be spring loaded. Well, so that means what is keeping it in place and locked is, yes, the distance between each other, but also a spring at the bottom and the top that is a bit compressed, so just holding attention and making sure it's the bearing doing their job and not the shaft like spinning around loosely in there. So that's also something we have to keep in mind. So we need basically to cut that, to cut this, to use the end here and the end here to make our full shaft in there. So even a better reason to make sure we're gonna be using the right length and make sure everything is fitting in place perfectly. If it's not, we're in trouble. All right. Time to move on and try different things. So we have a bolt right here that is not unscrewed. We're gonna try to unscrew that. First, I'm gonna go on the workbench again. So basically, I'm gonna try to look if I can remove that reinforcements thing in here. That might be useful later on if we need to use that for anything like for welding or something like that. So let's make sure to see what's going on under here. I feel like that might be the stopper for part of the system, just making sure it's not getting out of it, but I'm not sure. There we go. So let's see if we can unscrew that first. If we cannot, well, we're gonna have to drill it. That could work. That could work. All right. It is unscrewing a little bit. far so good. Even if it needs, it's starting to strip a little bit. Yep, we might not get it. Yep. Oh, however, it's moving. It's, oh, maybe we're getting that. Nah. Still need to. No, come on. Ah, so close to getting that unscrewed properly. All right, let's try to remove that with a bit of love, which means hammer time. I have a hammer here. Yep. So let's go. If it's too loud, tell me. I'm gonna put the filter. But for now, send it. That's not moving at all. Let's drill it. But it's really not moving. It's not even a question. So, like, it's loose, but it's still holding in place. Where's the drill? It's right there. Let's grab that. Let's find the proper hammer time. That was a weird MK in the middle there, but you do you, boo. Not judging. It's probably not at all the keyboard you're using, right? Drilling time. That's the perfect size. Loud noise. It sucks when you're trying to drill something and the drill bit is just moving all the way around it. So let's try to punch a hole in there. And keep our stuff, our drill bit in the middle. Loud noise. Now it's working better, so I just drill a smaller hole first. Now I'm gonna drill the full hole and it should be good. Loud noise. Nice. Now it's working, so let's just move that. Nailed it. Let's just move that a little bit back. There you go, boom. So we have a sleeve removed from there. I don't know exactly what that was for, so we're gonna keep that for now, just making sure everything's in there. It's a bit oily in there, so I don't know exactly what it was supposed to be, but hey, it's done, removed. There we go, polishing my shaft. Oh wait, what? What did you just say, mister? So, all right, that's stressful. I really need to think about it like 3 times to make sure. In my lingers, shaft, nice, hot. That's some hot stuff. So that, and then that there. This is getting inside of one of each other. Don't know, there's no way I can pull that out, but how is it done? I have no idea. That will be the best too. Do I have something that could drill? If I'm cutting that, do I have something to drill it? Like big enough. I have quite a huge one there, but even that is not big enough. But maybe I could find a way to drill it. Dr. Shaft. Oh, Dr. Shaft, I love it. Well, it's just like a French YouTuber basically did once, Dr. Coq. And well, Dr. Cox, which is a real last name, Cox, but C-O-X, but like being a French, like playing in a GTA roleplay server. Guess what? The doctor was not really appropriate on everything he was doing. Pretty much every client getting in there, it was like, all right, I don't care about your problem. What drugs do you need? Do you want to come to my penthouse tonight? Yeah, you can see the kind of role play it was. It was pretty damn funny. So he got involved into yeah, bit of nang, but not too bad. Like it's a general public, so like all age, so it was pretty cool. It was soft on like what you see, but like the second reading, I would say, like the second reading of everything he was seeing was like a bit nasty, so that was pretty cool. It was super funny. So right now I'm gonna be polishing that a little bit with the belt sander, just making sure we can fit that on top, because it's supposed to fit there. It was going a little bit more down low in here. I need that to work. Maybe the thing we just removed was the stopper for that, but that doesn't matter for now, because the way we're gonna do that is like we're gonna use this spring right here to sit on top there and load the bearing and have a C-clip holding that just a little bit compressed. We don't want it to be too intense, just hold some tension in there. With that said, let's grab the belt sander. And it has a really worn out belt on it, and it's perfect because I really don't want to be removing too much material from anything in there. So we're gonna go slowly and just basically, well, not that slowly, we're just gonna roll it on the bench so that doing that I can try to make something a bit more uniform all around it. And we're just gonna do it for like a few seconds and see if it's slipping on top again. So loud noise. All right, so basically I just did it for a few seconds, just not applying too much force, just making sure it should, there you go. So you see now it was just like not fitting, probably just a bit of crushed metal in there. Now it's fitting perfectly. So that's gonna be where we're gonna have our first placement there. So if we are looking at this there, the general idea right here is to reuse the same setup as there was in the Datsun. So using that, with that, and then we're gonna have a C-clip on top in the little notch right under here. Yeah, you can see it pretty well. And we're just going to compress that a little bit, which means with that, the C-clip is gonna hold tension in there. So that's the general idea. And as you can see right now, we need that big part here to fit in there. So with that said, I think our general measurement's gonna start there. I'm gonna mark it. I don't think that mark's gonna matter a lot. I'm just gonna put that there and go. But at the same time, I wanna mark it where I'm gonna basically have a 1/4 inch of tension, of compression total in there. So yeah. Where's the pen? Can we bet that it's not in here? It's like right next to it on there. I have one on the ground. It's not the one I'm looking for. It's here. So let's just have a general idea. So yeah, I'm gonna make a mark where I know it will be a little bit compressed. So there you go, and that's just giving me the general length of that. Oh, and I need to make sure, wait, that mark might not be good because I haven't checked if I have 4 inches in here. I need around 4 to 4 1/4. Way too deep. That wasn't cute. Go around that. That was with full, so I'm gonna go at 4 because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have all the thing I need in there. So there you go. And then I'm gonna remove that mark right there. I'm gonna put another one with now the new position of the thing there, because like I said, we need around four inches. Gonna double check it. Yep, 4. And then with that, oh, I just moved it a little bit, so that's not going to be 4 anymore. No, it's 3.5. Yeah, the telescopic part is working so far. Even a bit too good, like. That's 4. Now I can mark that. So I'm just having a rough idea of how long I will need that to get out at the top. Because yeah, basically what I'm saying right now is not really working, and that's the kind of stuff I have to keep in mind. Right now, between where it was going into the firewall to the top here meeting at the end of the power steering unit, I was having like 4 inches, right? 4 1/4. Well, now, if I'm staying with 4 1/4, like 4, just rounded up at 4 there, because I'm gonna have the play for the 1/4 inch in there. That was meaning the power steering unit was right at the end here, so I need to compensate for all of this. inside here. So basically I need to push that or do something for that in there. So with that said, that means I'm gonna need to measure that in here, and I have 2 3/4 in there. So I need to compress it by 2 3/4, and if I don't have the possibility to do that, like I don't think I do, so 2 3/4, that will mean 1 1/4 left, something like that. I'm at 4 minus 2 minus 3/4, so 2 and less, yeah, 1 1/4. I'm clearly not there. So my middle tube, my small tube, I need to cut it more, and I was right with going at around 5, because basically right now I'm just too close to everything. So either that or I'm cutting the big tube, or both of them. So right now, if I'm at 4 there, no, the big tube I cannot remove too much because I have a limitation on where it's going. So I'm gonna have to cut the small one a little bit more. So if it was at 4, just going to measure how much I can remove. I need to remove, in fact. So from 4 I can go to just 1/2 inch in. So, and I need to remove 2 and something, so 2 3/4, so I need to remove 2 inches from that. That's crazy. That's gonna be quite small, but that's because I was not accounting for that top part there. In fact, I need to remove 2 1/4 because I can remove 1/2 inch, and I need 2 3/4 to be removed, so I have 2 1/2 to remove. At this point, I kind of want to go with just the 2 3/4 right away and have that play in there. Because right now I just have a 1/2 inch. Well, no, that's good. Always remember, easier to remove stuff than to add. So I'm gonna go with just 2 1/2 inch there. And then the 1/2 inch should be compensating, and we should be sitting right at the bottom. So we won't have any telescopic move in there. But yeah, that should make it work still pretty well. And if it's not accurate enough, we're gonna be able to remove even more stuff. So that's okay. Maybe I should do that and also do another mark to help me guide my cut on the other side. There you go. So let's cut it. Whew, that's never going to be done today, but at least there's progression, and that's what's matter, right? So right now we're trying to keep that bearing in place. There you go. Buffer, time to do your work again. Loud noise. All right, so way shorter, but that should be perfect. So that Let's use that. And then insert that in there, that in here. Good question. All right, so if we're getting into that question, well, let's go. Basically, my monthly electricity bill is really fucking high. Reason for that, quite simple. Basically, oh yeah, I think I should have removed more on the other side too. All right, so basically, it's a really old house, and basically the windows are due, and we should be doing that for the last 2 years. But yeah, I'm a lazy motherfucker, so I haven't done it. And yeah, so basically, windows are due. So from the day we moved in, it was already like the house was quite cheap, but the cost of electricity is quite high compared to anything else around us. Like not twice the price, but maybe 50% more. So that's quite big, okay? However, the design of the house is something too. We have a really big front window going on two because I want to say it, I'm saying two stairs, but is it two stairs? Like it's going through two levels of the house. So basically we have like 6 super big windows at the front, bringing a lot of sun, but also dropping the efficiency of the house for keeping the warmth inside. So that said, in winter it's really bad. And since I'm doing a lot of welding with the hoist and all, I have absolutely no idea. We're paying per month, but it is always like something that is fixed. Like it's never moving. It's every month we're paying the same, and the year after, if we have used more than what we were paying for, it's adding to the cost for the next year. So that's how it's working, because otherwise in winter it was crazy. Like we could have $600 or $700 bills for 1 month. So that was, well, for 2 months, but basically, yeah, that was pretty insane. So that's the thing. Like you have both choice here in Quebec, where you can either pay what you are using every 2 months, or pay the same amount every month, and they are just splitting the difference. So 1 year I had one that was higher. Like we had a year that was higher, so the next year we were paying more, but after that it went down for this year after. So it was always up and down, which means the winter months are also splitted over the summer months, which mean, yeah, it's easier to pay always the same exact thing than having some super heavy months during winter and almost nothing during summer. So I feel like it's just easier to budget everything when everything is stable, right? So that's my way to think about it, at least. So yeah. All right, there we go. So we have a mounting here that should be working. However, I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now, because basically what that means is that if I was to weld that right there, I will have welding that is way too close to the bearing. So that's gonna be something where I'm gonna have to shorten that by at least 1.5 inch. But so far, we should be good to put everything on top here and bring that to its place, and have exactly 4 inches at the top here. If we haven't made a mistake, well, no, we don't have. To have 4, we should go a little bit more down, so that could bring that to an interesting point. Because I'm gonna have to do a telescopic thing there. Really? I was at 3, so I was wrong. Now I'm at 5, that's too much. That won't be enough. There. 4. All right, that's not too bad. Still a bit too close to the bearing to my taste, but we're getting somewhere. So right there we have something right at 4. So if I was to cut the end shaft here exactly right there, I will be against basically. I will be against the power steering unit. I was looking for my words there if you haven't noticed. But yeah, so this means we're getting closer and closer to what we want to do with that. So here, that's gonna be the interesting part. I'm gonna be probably cutting right in there. So this and this to split the first half here. The way it's done is that a bolt is locking in place inside the power steering unit. So this is something quite cool and easy to use. And we're gonna use the other side here to line it up. So I have tested it on top here, and basically it's not the same gear pattern. So it's not exactly fitting in place, but if I'm smashing it slightly in there to go like maybe not halfway but a quarter in there, it should still be tight enough. So it's gonna be it's gonna be basically really centered to that part here. So I will be able to weld it properly with a lot of intensity on this side, and that will be a solid mounting point for the power steering. So at the top, boop, we're removing all that. We're just keeping what's over my hand here and plugging that at the end there. And then just go ahead, weld that, and boom, we can connect that and just put the bolt and it's connected to the power steering. So this is what I'm thinking to do here, which means everything needs to be final at some point here before doing that, because the middle part there is gonna be it's gonna be like closed. I won't be able to take anything out, and that's not the ideal thing, to be fair, because that means if the bearings are going bad or something in there, I'm gonna have to find another solution, like make something else with that. So that's one way to do it. Other than that, it will be probably to just keep thinking of it, if I have to replace it, because that's another way to do it too. When you're working on something really specific, like I've said that like many times in the last few days, but basically think about, if I have to replace it, is it going to be something super hard to do, or is it going to be something easy? Power steering unit, I'm cutting the bracket on top, putting that on the new one, welding it, boom, we're back at it again. Everything's fitting in place because it's the only thing I've modified on the unit itself. Everything else was modified inside the car, which means it's still going to be valid with a new unit, right? So that's easy. That part here right now, I'm doing a lot of custom thing, which means that won't be easy. If I'm welding that on top there and then having that there, it will be quite a pain in the ass to then unweld or cut the top half there and then just add something new to that. However, these are not the things that tend to fail, so it's still something I can like go to an in-between and say, oh, okay, let's go, we're just doing that this way and it's gonna work. So yeah, so that's gonna be the idea right there. I'm gonna take that and just take a look to where I need to put that. Probably right on top there, yeah, that's where we don't have any play. Yep, so this is where it needs to go. Yep. That's gonna be quite a hard one to do. So we're gonna have to cut really the full bottom there. But yeah, so basically if I had to replace it right now, that will be a pain in the ass. Honestly, I feel like I will be trying something different, and why I'm not doing it right away, because I feel like it's easier to use what I have from Datsun than spending quite a lot of money doing something completely custom. big possibility we could have will be to build there's a kit, it's like $250 US, I think, something like that, where it's basically just the joint getting out of the firewall that you can use and do something custom to connect at the top and everything. So I feel like if I had to do it all over again, that will be what I will be using. Like, I will just go ahead and weld and use something custom getting out of the firewall, and therefore that will work. So that's going to be the first try, and if at any point it's failing, I feel like there's something wrong with the steering wheel, I might be moving on and try to replace that half shaft there. But for now, I'm pretty certain this is a good way to do it, so this is what we're going to do. That said, time to move on to something here. So top section pretty much sorted out. Here we're gonna have to remove like maybe an inch just to push that a little bit further back where we're gonna weld it. So when we're gonna be locking that in place, I just really want to make sure we're not having any issues with that. So I'm gonna calculate everything with like that little 1/4 inch at the top that's gonna put pressure on the spring. So that means when we're gonna assemble the final assembly, I'm gonna have to push it a good, quite a good amount just to get that in place and get that C-clamp in place. So therefore, I should be able to have that tension I'm looking for. But first of all, let's cut that a little bit more. So I'm gonna go and just remove 1 inches, like there's many of them. 1 inch on top of that, just because I don't need more. I just need a bit more clearance. I don't need a bit more, it's just to put the welding spot a little bit further down, further away from the bearing. And I'm gonna go at 1 1/4, because at this point I know I have plenty of loose, so that's gonna work. And now, yes, I'm removing more, but that's for a good cause. Loud noise. All right, so again, not the straightest cut, but that's gonna, well, sort of cut this lo-fi music with power tools and hammering in the background it is a really good mix, no idea why. Yeah, I know. I've been trying that quite a few times, and even me, like, I have the music in my ear right there, because if you're using TTS or I'm having notification, that's why I always have earbuds in my ear. And yeah, so basically, or even using other random sound, because they are pretty cool, and it's just working. Like, I'm working with my tool, and with the ear protection, like, it's just cutting the noise outside. I'm just having a little bit of the power tool with the music, and it's magic. But I appreciate the fact that you enjoy it too, because I could be just a weirdo loving that and like everybody else is hating it. So I love the fact that you're telling me it's great. Well, now the plastic might be too long. I'm working in 3D animation and artistic field usually, not that, okay? I'm not a mechanic, so being weird is part of the requirement for the job, I guess. So don't worry. We're both on the same train there. Okay, bye. Not good for bearing that. The only way I can tell something is normal is because everybody else except me is doing it. Like, I mean, let's be fair. If I'm not saying that I'm a weirdo doing that thing there on stream, like modifying heavily a car, I mean, that's not normal, right? You gotta be a bit crazy to go and spend so much money on a car that is so old when you could just buy a brand new car cash for the money I'm putting on that. There, gonna get to that 4 inches again. How come I'm not able to get back to that 4 inches? What have I done? Yeah, I'm at 4 1/4. Okay, that's weird. Did I not manage to cut it enough? I'm gonna have to take care because I don't want to go too crazy on that. Oh yeah, I'm stupid. I was taking the 4 inches from that tube I just cut, and since I removed 1 1/4, well, that means now I'm gonna be at 5 1/4 instead of 4. That's why I was like, damn, why I should have more loose now. Why is it not the case? Well, that's because you're dumb. That was too much. Oh my god. Everything's falling to the ground. Please spare me. I say spare me, not spank me, by the way. Just want to make sure you know. Since we are a small committee this afternoon, better make sure that I'm saying the right stuff. That's pretty much it. Just a little bit more. There you go. I feel so damn special. I'm the only one here. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it might be awesome for you, but it's a bit hard when you're streaming. But it's okay. I mean, I'm okay with that. There's those kind of days where there's less people in the place, and that's okay. And there's other days where there's quite a lot of people, so it's all good. But yeah, I'm glad you feel special. For me, it's like, why isn't there like 20 people now? Yeah, and that I really appreciate that because yeah, I mean sometimes there's really no one chatting, nothing happening, and I'm like, oh well, like I mean it's fair, it's part of the game, and you know what? Thinking of it, at the beginning of the summer, I was like, that's a freaking cool project. That's a really awesome concept to do on Twitch. There's not a lot of that. Doing a freaking engine swap, going turbo and everything, that's insane. People are watching that all the time on YouTube. Now they can follow the project on Twitch. That's gonna be cool. But the fact is, I had a better average when I was just gaming before 1 or 2 nights per week, and that's due to the fact that not being live so often, people tend to come more because they know it's just 1 or 2 times a week, so it's easy. Like you're just like, oh, he's live tonight, let's go see him. Like right now, I'm 4 days a week live and 2 times per day, and that therefore like you don't have to come, like even if you're waiting for 2 or 3 days, you're like, oh, he's gonna be live anyway, that's cool. First of all. Second of all, have to keep in mind that project, everything in here, it's taking time compared to a video game. Even though I was thinking, hey, on Twitch, everything is slower. Like when you're watching YouTube, you're waiting for action. You want everything to go really fast and have the information straight away, right? On Twitch, you're like, nah, I'm just chilling, watching a streamer, a game, play something, whatever, just chatting, and it's cool, it's just relaxing, I have something to do, and that's cool. However, someone who's here loving cars and everything might see that as, oh shit, it's taking quite a long time for the car to have progression and stuff, and it's fair. Like, even if I'm doing 4 days a week, it's been 3 months right now, I'm working on that car, and it's better, it's going forward, it's moving forward, but at the same time, it's not like bam, bam, boom, 2 weeks done, engine swap done, yeah, we're gonna do some crazy burnout, let's go. It takes time, and it's also one of the reasons why I'm doing that. It's like proving the fact that having a modified car, doing that by yourself, not paying super high money to someone, it's hard. It's hard to get. So it's really a long and painful job. You're bleeding from that. You have to think about things. You're gonna screw up also at some point, and it's part of the game. And that said, I'm uploading all the VOD to YouTube. And doing that, it's really cool because at the end of the project, I'm gonna be able to look at the playlist and see, oh shit, there's 300 hours of VOD in there, or 500 hours, or 100, but I think we're already busted that. So that said, it's really amazing. No matter if there's 1%, 0%, the best person, you Bloodstone, in here, I mean, in the end, I had the possibility to stream it, so I did, and it's gonna be like a crazy good thing to keep and have the chance to say, hey, my entire project, everything I've done, I have the proof I've done it, and I have like all the knowledge of what I've done so far, so I can go back, look at it again, find some stuff, see how I did something later on if I have another project, and that it's worth like all the money in the world. It's just so cool. It's just really, really, really cool. All right, I'm gonna do a test right now. Boom. I'm gonna take that together, then we're gonna move that inside the car and see if it seems to fit in place. Come on, cut. That, then let's move that out. Just putting back the end section there. That is, where did I put that? I'm missing one thing there, and I know I've seen it not so long ago. The little funnel shaped thing. I hate when I'm losing myself like this. I had it and I lost it. So I just taped that to the length I think it's gonna be, and now I'm just looking for my stuff again, and once I found out where my stuff is, I'm gonna be testing that inside the car. But right now I'm feeling like a dumb ass I'm looking like a lost puppy doing its stuff right now. Like just looking around and being like, oh, where did I put that? Derp derp derp. Hello? I've lost it completely. Like, what the hell? it's probably not far. I don't think it fell to the ground, but it might be. Because I need that to center. Oh, it's still at the end with the spring, that's why. Got it. Easy. So right now, if I'm doing that, why is it not going on top again? Okay, there you go. Feel like I've nudged. There you go. There. That's gonna be way too long, right? Let's try that. There you go. I just don't want it to slip on top of everything, so just like it did right now. So I'm gonna be taping that to its place. Because I really just want to see where it's gonna get out of the car. So this way, that should do it. Let's go. Yep, and that we could be compressing that enough. So yeah, the mark is working. Dual side. There you go. Up. I'm gonna smash my head so hard at some point there. But yep. There we go. Now I just need that to come forward a little bit. So I feel like I'm gonna need to compress the center here a little bit more, in fact, and therefore move that a little bit up. Maybe even cut the shaft a little bit at the top. But so far we're almost there, it's almost working. Then everything's gonna happen in here. So I'm gonna make sure it's at the smallest length possible so that it should work properly. Hopefully. Yep, that's gonna be it. Gonna cut that. Dual front. So basically the idea right now is gonna be to cut the threads at the top that was for the steering wheel, and we're gonna weld on that here, which is going to be what we're gonna use to center everything. And the more I think about it, the more I'm gonna, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna just cut that here. So basically the idea is gonna be, if I can grab a pen, the idea is gonna be to basically cut that right here like that. Same on the other side, but just making sure we're not cutting inside the notch there, because basically we want to keep that all together at first. Then we're gonna be removing the bottom half, of course, just keeping the top there, welding that to where we need it to be, and then after all that, we're gonna be sanding those parts, and that's gonna be plugged in. And yeah, so that should go right on top there, and we're gonna have enough space. Anyway, we might not even need to sand that once it's welded. We might be able to keep it like this, and that's gonna work in there. So we're just gonna make sure we're staying way further at the back there, just not to split in half that part there. We're gonna do the same thing in here, just keeping a bit more material, removing the universal joint from there and making a solid shaft at the top. After that, we're gonna test fit it and plug it in place and see if we can put also the end the end panel for the firewall in place and slip that through it if we can. That means, because yeah, at this point we no, we need to go from the inside, push it in there, then move it back in place. I think we might have to remove the power steering again to finalize that, but that's gonna be something to prove later on. But if it's working well to put that in place, we're gonna have enough threads push in there, and the welds is gonna hold everything together. So it's gonna be super strong. I'm not stressed at all with that one. What I'm stressed about is how we're gonna do the connection at the bottom here, because basically we still need quite a bit of material at the bottom there. So with that said, we might have to reduce like to keep the first half of what we did there, but reduce it and bring it inside a little bit more. So maybe even cut the plastic a little bit, just to make sure we're not having too much material in there. And then we're gonna be welding that, because basically we're gonna work the first half, make sure it's connecting to the power steering, make sure we have enough play and enough length for everything else. And then after that, we're gonna be moving on to getting everything at the bottom together. And how is it going to look there? Let me think about it. Is it that one there? I just need to remember myself how it's locking at the bottom. I think this is the thing locking it, right? Is it? That cannot be just that. If I'm pushing a little bit on it, what was holding it at the top? If I'm pushing that, what will prevent it from going further down? Like I'm pushing that, clamping. It's gonna be once it's mounted, I guess. But again, that makes no sense. There's a problem in my thing, I think. My plan is not good. Is it? Man, I'm lost. Once this is going to be reduced, this is going on top there. Welding that in the middle. We might be doing something crazy also. We might be doing something crazy, but right now I just need to think, how am I locking that on top here? Like this is okay, but the spring itself, like when I was going through, I needed that to be a bit too long. So I had to force it in place, but right now, since we just have that, even if I clamping that, what is gonna hold that in place? Because I still need to go through there. I'm doing it on the wrong side, right? No, I was not. Like that, and then I'm gonna have to press it to clamp that, and then it's gonna push like that. Okay, yeah, that's okay. No, it's working. Because basically I was thinking about how I'm gonna lock that, but I need to make everything a little bit longer at the bottom, like here, so that I'm gonna have to press it a little bit to push. No, it's not working again. Do I need to do that like this? No. Or do I need something against that here? But no, it's still just the steering wheel there. Or was it pressing against the steering wheel? That might be the case. If that's so, we're gonna have to make sure we're adding something to press it against. All right, I'm gonna untape that and think about it, because right now I'm a bit lost. I feel like I'm overthinking it, and I hate that. It's getting late, that's why. It's been 3 hours of thinking. We're close to the end of the stream, just telling you guys. Oh, and I cannot move that down there. So I'm gonna have to think about it. There you go. There, and there. There you go. There you go. So that's gonna be sitting in there. That's gonna be against the bearing. We're gonna need to press it a little bit to hold tension in there. Oh, but that's it. When I'm gonna want to press that, compress it on top there. Basically there I'm sitting against that, right? And that can get out like this, but not at the bottom there, because I'm gonna be pressed against it. So therefore, with that, I think I'm okay. I'm pretty sure I'm okay, and I'm just overthinking the problem, which is non-existent. I'm gonna be, this is going to be against that here, and then I'm gonna have to compress it, lock it, release, and there's gonna be tension on both spring, because this is going to be against that, and this, yeah, that's working. In the end, everything's working. Sounds good. So, there you go, there you go. Black hand. I think I'm gonna leave it there. To be fair, I have a meeting in 1 hour for the college and everything is blah. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. Tomorrow, the plan is gonna be to focus on the first half here. I'm gonna be starting by cutting those threads for the steering wheel at the top here. Then we're gonna be cutting that, committing to that, and basically pressing that in here just a little bit, making sure we're not going too far, but just pushing that a little bit, like a 1/4 inch in there, and we're gonna be welding that. Once this is done, we're gonna be pushing that through the firewall right there. So we're gonna be connecting that to the steering wheel, to the power steering, I mean, and then, which is the steering wheel at the same time. And then we're gonna see how long we have, we need, in fact, for the bottom to be sitting in place. Once this is done, that we are sitting that in place, well, we have the measurement. We're gonna be able to, I think we could be doing that right there, but we're gonna make sure the top end is working, see how long we have left coming out of here, and sitting everything to its place. Then we're gonna see how long we need to cut on that rod and make sure everything is fitting in place. So we're gonna need to take into account this here and that. Then it's gonna be working out the bottom end of it, which is going to be quite something, to be fair. What I was thinking about though, and I'm just saying that to think about everything at the same time I'm talking to you guys, just trying to figure out if it's the right way to do it. Let me try to find it again. Where is the little piece we remove? It's here. One thing I was thinking of that might be way too painful to do, so we're gonna have to take a look at this and see how doable it is, was to maybe go ahead and use that thing we removed from there to basically, if this is full rod, we could be putting that on a drill or something, so it's spinning around, and we could be just grinding that. So like, let's say we're putting that in here, it's spinning, and we use the grinder to grind a notch in there, and then we're using that to slip right on top. So it's just like making something a bit sketchy, but to make it work and stay in place, so that if it's turning and we're grinding that at the same time, it's gonna be as even as possible. Then we're putting that sleeve on top there, and we will be able to basically weld that on both sides, from the small part to the really thick part, which mean also we could be welding both sides here and here, and weld all the center there where it's connecting to each other. So that will be pretty insane. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to work that out, but that will probably prevent any chance of failing for the future. So I'm not saying we're gonna do that, but I'm really thinking about doing it. So yeah, so that could be a one way to do it, because like I said, we can use the drill, plug that, like cut that here, leave a little part here, a little piece that we can grab with the drill, and just making something funky in here, just so it's staying like a bit elevated and spinning on itself, and therefore we could be just going with the grinder at the same time as this is spinning. So that will make a pretty neat thing. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. So, because that will be just perfect, honestly. If we could make it sit quite flush on top, that will be GG. Like, I will be really happy with that, and be confident that it will work. But we will have basically one try. So we have to keep that in mind, because we can even taper both ends, and then with those taper, weld it the first time, slip that ring on top, and weld it all again together. So that will be sick. That will be really sick, and that will help make sure everything is straight. Yep. Yeah, I don't think I will weld at all the center at this point. We'll just put it flat against each other, and there you go. Flat against each other, weld everything, weld the window on top and both holes, and you're ready to go. Rock it on. Put that on E, maximum penetration. Yep, I think that could be a good idea. All right. We have a plan. It's not easy. I knew that will be one of the biggest challenge on that car, fitting that, making the half shaft there. That's gonna be quite intense, but yeah, we're pretty much there. So on this, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Energy is running low, so better be fresh and ready to work tomorrow instead of doing something stupid tonight. So on this, guys, I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for chatting, having fun, lurking, and just looking at this crazy project getting together. So have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, 9:30, and we're gonna be doing some crazy stuff. See you there, guys. Bye.